I've said that before that the ABC has got far too close to climate extremists, and I suspect misled us about that. And I'm now going to talk to one of the protesters it was in cahoots with. As I told you on Tuesday, the ABC's Four Corners this week reported on a radical global warming group in Perth that had already let off a stink bomb at the headquarters of gas giant Woodside, forcing an evacuation. And for this report, Four Corners was there from the start of the group's preparation and rehearsals for another protest.
They've invited us to their rehearsal. We don't know their exact target.
ABC says didn't know the exact target despite devoting a big crew to the operation. Go figure. But as it turns out, the target was the home of Woodside boss Meg O'Neill and her family. And Four Corners had a camera actually in the car to record a dawn raid on it.
It's August 1st, protest day.
Do you know where you're going, Jesse? Yep.
Oh, I should tell everyone we're going to touch down in about what?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably right on sunrise, I reckon.
Anyone have any final words?
Oh, yeah.
Bye, Tilda. Nice knowing you.
I'm just very, 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 very proud.
Yeah, bad luck for them. Police were a step ahead and they arrested the activists the instant they got out of the car. Joining me is one of the men they did arrest, Jesse Noakes. Jesse, thanks for your time. How did the ABC come to be in on your operation? Did you invite them or they invite themselves?
Andrew, terrific to be with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak here with your audience tonight. And can I just say what a fabulous platform this is for our little campaign to continue getting the word out about Woodside's Burrup Hub and the catastrophic threat it poses to the safety and security of our only home.
Please, Jesse, can you just answer the
absolutely.
question? How did the ABC come to be in on that operation? Did you invite them?
Well, of course I invited them. Absolutely. After a series of some months of negotiations and discussions in relation to the terms and conditions of the access that was afforded to the ABC, they were invited in to the Disrupt Burrup Hub campaign to get front row seats on the true picture of how power operates in Western Australia, which is to say with the West Australian Police Force, the counter-terror cops, acting effectively.
Was that your pitch?
Yeah, I mean the pitch was...
did you say, pitch was this front row seats, we're going to do this?
Well, I mean, no, I didn't discuss any specifics. There was no need to. There was no kind of consideration as to just how close they would get to the delicate, the thin screen separating Western Australia from a failed police state. I had no concept that the only people who were tipped off about the true location of that protest on that fateful Tuesday morning were the West Australian counter-terror police, who had been camped out overnight in the home of the Woodside CEO.
You've misunderstood my question.
Please.
I'm asking you, what was your original pitch to the ABC? What made them think that's worth sending a reporter over? That's worth hiring getting all the crew together. That's worth putting in a week of work or whatever it was. What was your pitch?
Well, it's a story I've been working on for a number of years, actually, Andrew, and that is the true story about the pariah petrostate that Western Australia currently consists of. It's a captured state where the cops...
What I'm asking, Jesse, I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with our connection. I asked the question, what was your pitch to the ABC that made them devote all these resources? What did you say to them? You can get what?
You can get the full picture of how power operates in Western Australia to protect Woodside and their toxic Burrup Hub project at the expense of future generations, with the full collusion, cooperation and support of the West Australian Government and the West Australian Police Force. And may I say, Andrew,
they didn't need you to tell them that.
We more than delivered on that promise.
With this operation, what were you offering? Were you saying, look, we're planning a big thing, why don't you come on board? Because there they were, they saw your rehearsals. Did they know you were going to go to someone's home or office?
No, the only people who seemed to know that long in advance were the West Australian Police, who, as I mentioned earlier, were camped out overnight at said home, tearing themselves away from the homes of dozens of climate campaigners they've been invading on a regular basis over the course of this year so far. The ABC were promised a bit of colour, a song, a dance, perhaps. They were given, fairly exclusive and impressive access to the rehearsal for an unnamed protest at an unnamed
So they must have known
location.
something was up, right? They must have known something was up.
I
They
mean,
see you mixing paint, loading paint guns, all that kind of stuff. And you say to them,
yeah, and then they've read the reports about this campaign and its activities.
Yeah, but when they saw this rehearsals, they must have had a clue. You know, paint, it involves paint. You were telling them, we are going to do what? You've got to get up at dawn, before dawn, in fact.
Yeah.
What did you tell them that you were going to do?
I believe it was I believe it was roughly a sunset touchdown. About an hour before bounce down, I informed them that we were off to a location in a rich seaside suburb of Perth. They were encouraged to follow us, come along for the ride. As you would have seen from that video, I was in the driver's seat.
Suburb, but home
by
then,
the time we
obviously.
arrived,
someone's home, obviously. It must have been someone's home.
Well, I mean, we spent the previous few days.
Area.
Yeah, I mean, most buildings are either someone's home or someone's office. As I alluded to, they'd spent the past few days filming people in their own homes, and subsequently, following the brief sojourn to the home of the Woodside CEO, or outside the home of the Woodside CEO, they returned to the home of a young mother to watch her being raided for several hours by the same Canberra police.
Okay, so they must have known you were going to a home. They must have known from your preparations and what you told them, the address, you were going to someone's home. Don't you think it's a bit rough for a gang of 4 or so people turning up to someone's home at dawn? I mean, gee, if I did that to you, you'd jump a mile. If I turned up with 4 of my mates with a spray can and God knows what in my hands. I think it's pretty lousy. Look, we're
Andrew,
out of time.
you're more than welcome.
I'd like to hear your response, but we're out of time. Jesse Noakes, thank you so much for your time.